Testing. Good evening and welcome to the New Milford High School commencement ceremony at William C. Monahan Field. During the ceremony, please be certain that all cell phones are turned off or are on silent and that you refrain from using any devices which may be a distraction or a disruption during the presentation of the class of 2021. At the conclusion of tonight's ceremony, please keep the procession route clear until all the graduates have exited the field. You can then join your graduates on the field outside the cafeteria. At this time, please rise as the class of 2021 proceeds in and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of our national anthem. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, May you have auspicious and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in you being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less.
May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always leave with the beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get to rest, may you catch your breath.
And may the best of your today be the worst of your tomorrow. Whoa. And may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa. Well, here's to the hearts that you gon' break. Here's to the lives that you gon' change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. May you be as fascinating as a slap bracelet. May you keep the chaos and the clutter off your desk. May you have unquestionable health and less stress. Having no possessions, though immeasurable wealth.
May you get your goals on your next test. May your educating answers always be correct. And may you win prizes shining like diamonds. May you really own in each moment tonight.
And may the best of your today be the worst of your tomorrow. Whoa. And may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa. Well, here's to the hearts that you gon' break. Here's to the lives that you gon' change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gonna have. You don't need money, you got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. Oh, I want what your path is. If you believe it, then anything can happen. Go, 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 raise your glasses. Go, 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 you can have it all. I toast you, here's to the hearts that you gon' break. Here's to the lives that you gon' change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gotta have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. Good times we're gonna have. Here's to always making me laugh. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all.
Good evening, Superintendent Polizzi, Ms. Adoxta, Dr. Kuchar, President Andrews, and the members of the Board of Education, Principal Manipelli, Vice Principal Peroni, teachers, family, friends, and fellow graduates. My name is Linda Akar, and while it has been a privilege being the president of the class of 2021, I could not have had this honor without them. And no, I did not have to bribe them. As we are gathered here today, surrounded by friends, family, teachers, staff, and even the viewers on the live stream, we celebrate a milestone of years of learning and new beginnings. Sitting here today, I encourage you all to reflect on the memories you've made here at New Milford High School. From sitting in an unfamiliar classroom on move-up day as incoming freshmen, to for the last time, sitting here as a unified class. As freshmen, we were thrown into a foreign atmosphere, still navigating the hallways and looking for the swimming pool that the upperclassmen would claim was on top of the roof. We quickly learned that first, there was no swimming pool, and second, we would need to adapt to our new environment. Adaptation was the epitome of the class of 2021. After coming in last place every Spirit Week as many times as we could, which, by the way, may be a school record, we managed to adapt and accept that we would still make it a great experience. Never troubled or disappointed by our losses, we adapted and happily took our losses, even celebrating them. As sophomores, we were set loose from the title of freshmen, and we're proud to adapt to no longer being the fresh meat targets of the school. Going to football games, homecoming, experiencing the high intensity of Spirit Week, being a part of the athletics program, music department, art department, and more became exciting as we entered a new grade level. Then, as juniors, we finally became upperclassmen, still learning to adapt to the hardest year of high school, looking at colleges, studying for the SAT, enrolling in AP courses, anticipating a junior prom, and then suddenly, our regular day activities and lives were paused due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We were forced to adapt once again, this time to new video conferencing tools like Zoom and Google Meet, as our kitchens, bedrooms, basements, and living rooms became our new classrooms. However, we endured the seemingly endless virtual calls and were excited to see our teachers and classmates again. This year, as the restrictions due to COVID were lessened, we were fortunate enough to have athletic seasons, prom, and other fun activities that came along with being normal seniors. Because of our experiences, the class of 2021 became chameleons, able to adapt in any environment. Throughout our entire high school experience, we all endured different journeys and were influenced by different people. So I encourage you all to inspire and to be inspired. Fellow graduates, I'll leave you with a thought that I picked up from the social media platform TikTok that is constantly occupying our minds for the good and sometimes even the bad. Every single person out there is a mosaic of everyone they have ever met. If you could look closer into each and every person, you could see every other person they've been influenced by in their life, for the good, bad, or ugly, and everything in between. So, class of 2021, it has been a pleasure to serve you, and I challenge you all to add to your mosaics and continue to adapt in your next chapter of life. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Short. Good evening, Superintendent Polizzi, District Administrators, Board of Education members, Principal Menipelli, Vice Principal Peroni, distinguished guests, teachers, families and friends, and fellow graduates. It is my honor to be this year's Salutatorian. I remember the first time I spoke in front of this many people. It was during a TED Talk in freshman year, and I remember crying because of how nervous I was. However, compared to when I was a timid little freshman, I believe I have come a long way. I went from being too scared to answer a phone call to being able to have conversations with strangers. I went from looking down at the ground all the time when walking to standing straight with my eyes forward. I went from being a teenager to being an adult, even though I still don't understand how taxes work. My growth is thanks to my supportive family, my unforgettable friends, my wonderful educators, and my persistent self. Thank you. Just like me, I know that everyone here graduating today has had their own share of physical, spiritual, and mental growth. As a remote-only student for a year, attending prom and seeing everyone again made me realize how much everyone has truly changed. Compared to middle school and freshman year, everyone has grown up, and it makes me really happy to see. Regardless, because of the relationships we've developed, the images we've created, and the memories we've given others, we can leave a legacy onto New Milford High School to create another legacy somewhere else. Some of us are furthering our education, some of us are joining the workforce, some of us are serving our country, and some of us are still deciding what is best for us. As Shakespeare wrote in Hamlet, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. While you continue to journey down your path, you are probably feeling anxious or afraid, unsure about what the future may hold. I know I certainly am. But think about it this way. We survived an earthquake of ups and downs for 4 years. We survived the monsoon known as college applications. We survived a global pandemic. We even survived Mrs. Smith's electron dance project. And despite all of that, we were able to persevere and gather here together today to graduate. Our ability to adapt to changes in high school strengthens our ability to embrace the age of adulthood. Although we will eventually pay bills and we may fear the monster known as debt, we will also gain the freedom to explore our individuality and discover what makes us the happiest. The world we see and the people we are today will look different in only a matter of years. Society is ever-changing, but so are we. New Milford High School has built the foundation of our knowledge and strength to continue towards the future. Even though it will be heartbreaking to depart and say our goodbyes, our stories have just begun. A new chapter will unfold for a future musician, entrepreneur, lawyer, teacher, scientist, and so on as they graduate high school. As cliche as it sounds, your story is what you make of it. The text on the pages are inked from your words and actions. Your previous chapters can illustrate the person you've become, and your blank pages can represent your potential for the future. For the first time, we wear our caps and gowns. And for the last time, we proudly stand together as the class of 2021. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. To begin, I would like to thank all the teachers, staff, administration, friends, and family who were here to support each member of the class of 2021 during our very unique high school journey, and to thank all of you who made everything possible. I would also like to personally thank my parents, my sister, and my best friend for helping me to get to where I am today. Unlike many of my peers, I did not grow up in New Milford. I moved here just 2 short weeks before the start of my freshman year. Before I had moved, many people told me for the first few months or so, I would not have many friends, and it would be difficult to adapt to my new environment. As it would turn out, this could not have been further from the truth. New Milford was an incredibly welcoming place. I made friends very quickly, and I never felt like an outsider or that I was somewhere that I did not belong. For that, I'm thankful to the New Milford community, and there's nowhere else that I would have rather attended high school. Now, I believe it goes without saying, this past year and a half or so has been one of the most challenging part of our lives so far. We were put into a position we never thought possible, and I want to congratulate all of us for making it to graduation in spite of it all. Many aspects of high school that we were all looking forward to were either lost to us or dramatically changed. Learning outside of a classroom, losing our junior prom, and having to interact at a social distance were just a couple of the many ways that we as a class were affected. I know how surreal the end of high school may seem to many of us. During the last month of school, it certainly felt surreal to walk down the halls knowing we would never experience the hall as a student again. Graduation can seem like a very bittersweet moment. On one hand, we have to leave, but on the other, we finally get to leave. Change is never easy, and it can be difficult to say goodbye to teachers, friends, and community that we have been with for the past 4 years. While our high school experience may not have come to a close the way all thought it would, I believe that in our time in high school, both in person and virtually, will allow us to achieve greatness in our futures. High school now seems such a large part of our lives, but it will soon realize it was merely a stepping stone to the greatness that is yet to come for all of us. I encourage you all to step forward into the future, always staying true to who you are, pursuing what makes you happy, and to always strive to become the person you want to be. You are all amazing people, and there is no doubt in my mind that you will all achieve great things. I hope everyone enjoys their night, and one more time, I want to congratulate the class of 2021. Thank you, and go Knights.
All right, how we doing tonight? We're good? I don't know about you, but I'm getting emotional already, and it just started. Seeing my students all together, it's going to be rough to get through these speeches today, but just a couple of things. To everyone here, to everyone standing on the side, and obviously my students behind me, to actually be in person, right? To be together, to hear the choral ensemble sing. Wow. I mean, it's amazing to see you here, performing, sharing those beautiful voices that I've heard over the years, and just come alive. And it makes me feel very excited for what's to come. So I know I'm up here to mention the distinguished alum, but I have to say this, I'm excited for you guys, for your futures ahead. I'm excited to the underclassmen up in the stands, the family members, because this is a great signal to us all that we're moving in the right direction, and to hear those beautiful voices tonight really sets that tone. So just a round of applause again for the choral ensemble, please. And to our speeches, Linda, Lynn, and Albert, wonderful job. One theme that I see continually running through your words to us is the foundation that New Milford has provided you. And I would say to you that the foundation of our school and our community is you. the people, okay? My teachers, my parents, my administrators, but most importantly, you all. Thank you for continuing that tradition of New Milford Nights. And when we speak about tradition, what would be tradition without alumni? So we have a Distinguished Alumni Award that we present each year to someone that has made a difference, in the lives of others, that made a difference in their community, that's made a difference in the world. And we're very fortunate today to have such a person. So our distinguished alumna for this year is Dr. Rachel Golden Kroner. Wait 1 second. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background. Her bio, if you were at the academic awards, you may have heard this already, but I know a lot of people were not, so I just want to share with you a little bit of information about Dr. Rachel Golden Kroner, New Milford High School class of 2006. She's a conservation scientist, passionate about using science and evidence to improve policy and protect the planet. She draws from a variety of disciplines, including ecology, environmental policy, geography, and economics, to understand some of the world's most complex challenges, such as biodiversity loss, climate change, and recommend solutions. She is a leader, a communicator, mentor, and advocate. Currently, Rachel works as a fellow at the Conservation International in the Moore Center of Science, focusing on environmental governance. She also co-leads a task force for the International Union of Conservation of Nature focused on COVID-19, researching and raising awareness of conservation, a key to preventing future pandemics. I'm reading off my phone because I didn't bring the paper, so bear with me. She has worked with World Wildlife Fund, Oceana, and the Smithsonian, and collaborates extensively with academics, practitioners, and business and donors governance to translate science into action. Rachel is an award-winning speaker and has, as you can tell, I am not, and has published in leading peer-reviewed journals, including Science, Proceedings of National Academy of Science, and Conservation Biology. She is an active member of the Society of Science and Association of American Geographers. Rachel holds a PhD in environmental science and policy from George Mason University, and a master's in sustainable development and conservation biology from the University of Maryland, and a BA in biology with a specialization in ecology from Boston University. As a recipient of the Canarum Award, which you will hear about later, and an active member of the Milford High School Music Department, she is grateful to the foundation that New Milford High School has provided her education and her career. So at this time, I would proudly like to bring up Dr. Rachel Kroner.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the honor of being your 2021 Distinguished Alumna. So wonderful to see all of you. I want to share my heartfelt congratulations to the students, teachers, family members, friends, administrators, and everyone who's here. We got through this year. Things are looking up. I want to start with a story. About 2 years ago, I was standing at a podium just like this, but this time in a conference hall, terrified. I thought it was going to be the end of my career. Just a few months before, I had achieved an incredible accomplishment. I published a very big scientific paper in a very big journal as first author, and I had completed my PhD. I was now a doctor. This is something that I had worked really hard to achieve for many years. And it was a whirlwind of excitement. Because of the paper, I had dozens of media interviews, and I saw my science appear in places like CNN, The Washington Post, and even Rolling Stone. I felt like a rock star. But I soon learned that not everyone agreed with my research. Even though the work was peer-reviewed and extensively verified, a couple of folks objected to the findings. They wrote some very nasty emails and letters and published a blog attacking my work and me fiercely. I was devastated, hence why I was so scared at that podium. I thought that these folks were going to be in the audience. I spent months preparing for that conference, thinking through every possible response that I could muster to their questions, and also preparing my colleagues around me who could back me up. But guess what? I did the presentation in a different language, mind you, and you know what? It was fine. I stuck to the science, I presented the study clearly, all of the questions from the audience were cordial and fair, and I answered them in turn, and my colleagues were there to back me up. This was a formative experience for me. I learned a few things. First, if you do something big that challenges the status quo, you're probably going to make a few enemies. But that's how you know that you're making a difference. Second, with some preparation and strategy, 99% of the time, you'll be fine. And third, work with other people who can have your back and just be there to support you. You're all graduating into a tumultuous world of possibilities and great challenges. Rapid technological change, political polarization, a global pandemic, the struggle for racial justice, the loss of biodiversity, global climate change, just to name a few. I mention all these challenges not to overwhelm you, but to provide you with some perspective. Your generation is more aware of these struggles than any other. I believe these challenges, coupled with our collective awareness and action, are humanity's greatest opportunity to pave the way toward a more just, sustainable, and prosperous future for all. So I want to invite you to participate in working on these kinds of social, economic, and environmental challenges. I believe it's all of our responsibilities, but also our honor to work on making the world a better place. As a scientist working at an environmental conservation organization, I get to do this every day. My work is all about ensuring that we can protect the rest of nature, which supports all of humanity to be able to survive and thrive. I believe that my foundation at New Milford High School helped me in ways that I didn't understand at the time to tackle these big challenges. My experiences in science, math, history, English, and Spanish classes were essential. My participation in the music department, where's my shorts? Hi! Enriched my love of working creatively with others and performing, which helps me feel comfortable speaking in public. And the tight-knit community of friends, teachers, and families offered safe spaces and emotional and moral support. You all have a strong foundation, and there is so much that you can do to help. The world needs you. Whether you aspire to be a scientist, artist, teacher, organizer, healthcare worker, lawyer, government worker, sustainability professional, engineer, or so many different careers, there is a place for you to contribute. And each one of us is part of this complex system that we all live in. We can all help as citizens, voting constituents, conscious consumers, and supportive community members. Don't forget to take care of and be kind to yourself and others. The world's challenges will not be solved overnight, but there is hope in action toward solving them together. You should all be very proud of yourselves right now. We got through this crazy year. I hope that you all look back on this time, reflect on the challenges, but also feel inspired by our individual and collective resilience and ability to move forward. So congratulations to the class of 2021.
Good evening, members of the class of 2021, members of the Board of Education, colleagues, parents, relatives, and friends of our graduates. This year, it is my privilege to present the 86th Warm Canarum Award and the 60th Canarum Scholarship to an outstanding graduating senior. It is a great honor to present this award, the only award given at graduation. In 1936, the family of John and Marie Canarum experienced a great tragedy when their son, Warren, died after a battle of leukemia before his 9th grade year. Mr. Canarum, a former New Milford Board of Education president, had served on the board when the land for the junior high school, our current high school, was purchased. However, his son would never graduate from the junior high that Mr. Canarum was instrumental in building. The Canarums decided that their son, Warren, would have a presence at every graduation from that time forward, and a Canarum Ward was established. Then, in 1962, the year the first New Milford students graduated from New Milford High School, the Canarums endowed the award with a scholarship to be granted in perpetuity to the outstanding senior of the graduating class. As you enter the main doors of our school and look immediately to your right, you will see a plaque upon which are inscribed these words. Here, in enduring bronze, is each year inscribed with the name of the member of the graduating class who during his high school career has best exemplified the qualities which marked the career of him. In those memory, the award is established. Honesty of purpose, courage, courtesy, cheerfulness, loyalty, and devotion to the school. Each year, the recipient of this award is selected by a committee comprised of high school administrators and the liaisons of each high school department. It speaks well of this class seated before you that the committee felt a number of individuals demonstrated high ideals represented by this Canarum Award. Speaking directly to the class assembled here before you, it is without question that your legacy will be your resilience, which you have demonstrated during the pandemic while remaining hopeful, positive, and committed to your final year of high school. It wasn't easy, but you all persevered in ways you had no idea existed. A moment in time that taught you the new meaning of new concepts like virtual, hybrid, asynchronous, and many other modalities that never existed before. You rose up, dealt with the challenges, and came out a better person. All of you, please take this with you and take the moments of bonding with your peers that have shaped your year and move forward knowing one thing: you can and you will. Before I speak about the individual who will be honored tonight as the winner of the Warren Canarum Award, I would like to ask you to join me in applauding this extraordinary class of young adults, the class of 2021. This year's Canarum winner embodies the ideals set forth by the Canarum Award in many ways. She is courageous and cheerful. She has a love for learning in and out of the classroom. She is loyal and devoted to her school, her family, and her friends. She's a natural leader with a kind heart, always in deference to others. A teacher describes the recipient as a fictional character, Pippi Longstocking, who famously said, "I never tried that before, so I should definitely be able to do it." Specifically, this young lady reflects the attributes and ideals of the Canarum as she is an honors and AP student, a member of the National Honor Society, a member of peer leadership, a member of student council, a Hobie Leadership Seminar recipient, a member of the varsity fall cheerleading team, a member of the varsity competition cheerleading team, a member of the varsity softball team. I have known this Canarum Award winner since she was 5 years old. I know she leaves New Milford High School a better place for being here. I know we will miss her cheerfulness, her loyalty and dedication, and her everlasting enthusiasm. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I announce the 86th Canarum winner, Jamie Moat.
Good evening, graduates of the class of 2021, Principal Manupelli, parents, families, and friends, faculty, trustees of the New Milford Board of Education, dignitaries, and special guests, fellow colleagues in administration. A special thank you for some pieces of my family who are here, my sister from the North Country, my son, his wife, and their two little devils, and my wife, who has not missed a high school graduation that I dragged her to for 42 years. I have to think that this ceremony is somewhat bittersweet for both of us, as in the graduates and me. You may not realize this, but when I started here in 2009, you were starting first grade. So here we are, 12 years later, in a sense, graduating together. Like you, this is my last year in New Milford. And because of that, we are facing some of the same uncertainties, the same anxieties, heads full of ideas with no single clear path forward. That doesn't really change with age, even though we like to believe in a future full of options, which is exciting, right? You would agree? Yes? Okay, I'll take that as agreement. I hope I don't disappoint you, or Mr. Pevney, wherever you are, there you are, with my choice of pop references for this address. I'm going with Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Do you know that movie at all? Okay, there's a few. Why? It was pretty much a bomb of a movie, that's true. But I became absorbed in the journeys through multiple alternative universes, which became metaphors for the worlds before us today. The movie remains unresolved, particularly the relationship between the hero, who wants to marry Laureline, the heroine, who only gives him, at the end of the film, a maybe, a weak maybe. Their future is uncertain also. Good for a sequel, perhaps. But then again, isn't life an endless series of sequels, add-ons like the planets in Valerian? Back to Earth for a moment. I think about where I was as a senior in high school. By that time, my journey consisted of several jobs and several phases of personal development. Dreams, and practicalities which often interrupted the pursuit of dreams. Worlds colliding amid radical social conflicts and questions about my place in the world. That hasn't really ended either after some 40 different jobs, cycles of education and re-education, periods that required flexibility, adjustment, curiosity, resetting goals and priorities, and soul-searching. Lots and lots of soul-searching. I can't say with any certainty where I'll be come September or what I'll be doing. You probably have a better fix on that than I. What I do know, though, is that I'll always have my family, as you will have yours. I'll always have my experience and my personal history, as you also will have yours. I will carry with me the many fond memories I have of my time in New Milford, like you, and cherish how this part of the journey has shaped me and strengthened me as you have been strengthened. I also have learned not to base anything in my future on Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. And I would never recommend it either, unless you truly have nothing more meaningful to do. And I think that that is pretty much often at the crux of what we do during our pastimes, the unconscious search for meaning, turning in the background, so that we get to understand ourselves better and to leverage our better selves to the benefit of others. Taken directly from the trailer, in Valerian, a dark force threatens Alpha. Valerian and Laurelina must race to identify the marauding menace and safeguard not just Alpha, but the future of the universe. Fortunately, our personal universes are small, and we are very capable of protecting them. Be attentive to the spirit that made you the caring, kind, considerate, and loving individuals you are today. I also wish the best for you. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on.
Good evening. It is a privilege and great pleasure to be here with all of you on this very exciting day. Graduates, you did it. All of your hard work and perseverance have led you here. I challenge you all to take everything you've learned from every experience with you onto your next phase of life. Don't forget where you came from or what brought you here. This will help you, whether it be in school, at work, or just bettering yourself. Remember what you've learned, not just academically, but about friendship, family, community, and life. These lessons will help you continue to make progress and lead you to the success you dream of. Knowing that you have a community that believes in you, believe in yourselves. That's all it takes to make your dreams possible. So graduates, no matter where your journey started, you have made it here today. You are accomplished, creative, talented, and all-around outstanding members of the class of 2021. I wish you, actually, on the behalf of the Board of Education, I wish you all the best in whatever is next for you. We will be rooting for you. Congratulations.
So I don't know if you noticed, my name's Lou, and my students, they just love to call me Lou in the hallways. And it just started one day. Who was it? Who could it be that first said it? Where is Nick Rayner? Where is Nick? Nick, please stand. Wave to the crowd. There we go. See, learning to embrace it. That's one of the many lessons that Mr. Polizzi has taught me over the years. And Mr. Polizzi, I have to say this, there's nothing cuter or more impressive than the grandchildren come running to you. So that took care of the Valerian reference, okay? So we're good to go. The two little nuggets come running, that's the best thing in the world. So congratulations. That's where the true wealth is. So, Mr. Polizzi, members of the Board of Education, Mayor Petrino, and Milford High School administration, teaching staff, honored guests, parents, and friends, the students seated before you represent New Milford High School's 60th graduating class. 60. Tonight we come together to celebrate the graduation of the class of 2021. These 123 young men and women have dedicated the past 13 years of their lives getting to this point. I'm sure as you sit in the audience tonight, a true sense of pride can be felt. These accomplishments have been supported by a very special group of individuals. At this time, I would like to thank all the professional staff, teachers, and building administration present tonight. This includes Mr. Dalala, Mr. Coughlin, Mr. Peroni, Mr. Riccadelli, Ms. Chris O'Malice, Ms. Novoselsky, Ms. Torrey, and Mr. Davies. A little retirement shout out. Mr. Davies, please stand. The velvet voice of New Milford will be sorely missed. Without your contributions as such outstanding education professionals, this evening would not be possible. Would all the educators here please stand? Yes, that's you guys. There's been a lot of mentions about getting through the pandemic. We're not going to go into that because I can't do it as eloquently as others. But if it wasn't for my teaching staff, if it wasn't for them adjusting, sometimes on the fly, sometimes at my fault, but adjusting and providing our students with this great opportunity to get through this pandemic, it would not have been done without you. So thank you very much, my teaching staff. To our head of buildings and grounds, Brian Piero, head custodian, Verge de Guzman, custodians and maintenance personnel, thank you for all the preparations, the setup, and for being here tonight to ensure that everything is a success. I'd also like to thank our tech team, Ron Watson, Matt Caroni, and Matt Ricella, and especially our alum, Dan Preet, for providing the streaming of the graduation up top. Mr. Preet has been instrumental in all the events this year. Please give everyone of the tech team a round of applause for making it all possible. Shout out to everyone at home watching. I'd also like to thank our senior class advisor, Mr. Fioro. She hates when I do this each year, but I do it anyway. So everything that she does, the amount of work that goes into this event, especially the stress when dealing with the pandemic and me. But we want to thank her for taking the lead. And we know truly that we appreciate your commitment and dedication to ensure this event's success every year, and this year especially. Please share a round of applause for our senior class advisor, Mr. Fioro. Special thanks to members of our New Milford Ed Foundation and our PTO for all that they have done to continue to support our students and staff. The Project Graduation parents, for all they have done over the past 4 years to create this special evening tonight. I still don't know where they're going. For our seniors, so that they have a fun and safe graduation night. So thank you everyone that's contributed to that. You're going to have fun wherever you go, believe me. Thank you to the district administrators for all your leadership and support during this very trying time. This in-person ceremony would not have been possible without our Director of Curriculum Instruction, Mr. Doxta, our Director of Special Services, Dr. Perot, and our BA, Dr. Kuchar. So thank you for always taking care of us and making sure we have everything we need. To our Board of Education members, volunteering and contributing your time, to President Tanya Andrews, Vice President Heather Gomez, our Representative Paige Ryan, Ms. McSweeney, Mr. Levine, Mr. O'Grady, Mr. Steele, Mr. Abro, Ms. Dunn. Without your continued support and vision for the district, none of this would have been possible. So to my board members here, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. So there is someone else retiring tonight. Not as famous maybe as Mr. Polizzi after 42 years, but 27 years isn't too shabby. So as much as people don't like to be called out, this person hates it, and I have to do it. So yes, she's covering her face already. So after 27 years of dedicating herself to us, to our students, this morning, well, actually about a week and a half ago, students reached out to me and they said, Mr. Mandipelli, we want to come in today and we want to visit with this teacher that's retiring because she's made such an impact in our lives. There were students that have never had her as a teacher that were part of this group that came today to pay tribute to this person because even though they didn't even have her, she had impacted their lives through friends, through conversations. So if you can imagine something for a moment, impacting students without ever having them in your classroom, that takes a talent, that takes dedication, it takes love for the students. So I would ask all my students here to please stand up and give Miss Collantine a round of applause for all her contributions after 27 years. Thank you, Ms. Collantine. We love you. Thank you, guys. And at this time, I'd like to take a moment to recognize Mr. Polizzi. I've had the honor and privilege to work with him as both a vice principal and now a principal. I have known him for 13 years, and I publicly want to thank him for mentoring me as a leader and supporting our beloved New Milford High School students over that period of time. Whenever I needed advice, and even sometimes a push to open up and dream bigger, he was there. Your impact and legacy upon the district will be felt for many generations to come. I want to thank you and your family for ensuring that New Milford High School will continue to overcome any adversity, as well as provide the foundation for future student success. At this time, will you all please stand to recognize Mr. Polizzi? Thank you. I'm trying to get you guys getting a little workout today. And finally, none of this would have been possible tonight. I've been saying that a lot. It's like a little theme running through. But also it lends to a bigger thought about how interconnected we all are, how we all need each other. This pandemic, if you're not a human being, okay, showed you very clearly how much we need one another, okay? Not hate one another, but need one another. And kindness was mentioned. Mr. Dalala mentioned it at his speech this morning. Mr. Polizzi mentioned as well. The kindness that has been shown in the pandemic cannot be forgotten. We need to take this pandemic and learn from it like we've heard before. And we need to recognize that the kindness, the things that came out of the hardship, is what we need to bring forward and have it be the regular, right? Not let it to go back and disappear and, oh, well, the pandemic's over, let's go back to the way things were. No, I don't want normal if that's going to be the normal, okay? So I ask all of you there, okay, you have children in this community, right? Continue to show them that the kindness matters more and that without that, we're lost. Okay, to our students here, you have to send this message as you move forward. Okay, you're going to be put in situations where you're going to be challenged, right? And I know as New Milford students that you're going to choose the kindness and the right path, all right? Because your parents raised you right, and you had our foundation. So I wish you the very best on that. And when we talk about needing one another, none of us would be here today without certain individuals. We have all experienced hardship, but our essential workers, the people on the front lines, they are the ones that need to be recognized today. So if there's any medical personnel, doctors, nurses, medical, police, fire, EMS, anybody that was out front dealing with this pandemic from the beginning to ensure that we could be here today, I ask you all to stand because you need to be recognized for your contributions. And what a message that is, because the people standing up there that protected us and helped us are raising those children here. And they'll continue that legacy and they'll continue that path. So thank you very much for everything you've done, for you've sacrificed to make it here tonight. All right, so now we're actually going to begin the ceremony. At this time, I'd like to call to your attention the members of the National Honor Society. They are wearing white stoles. Students wearing red and gold cords indicate membership in the Spanish Language Honor Society. Blue cords, the French Language Honor Society. Those students wearing rainbow cords are members of the Art Honor Society, while those wearing pink are members of the Music Honor Society. Members of the International Thespian Society are wearing blue and gold cords. Would students belonging to any of these honor societies please stand? Thank you. The students ranking in the top 10 of this class wear a special medal. Those in the top tier, having earned a cumulative GPA of 4.0 or higher, wear green and white cords. Would those students in the top 10 and top tier please stand? This year marks the 10th cohort of students graduating from the academies of New Milford High School. Each student wears a distinctive medal containing a crest created by the academy students in 2012, as well as a ribbon with the specific colors they selected. Those students wearing gold and purple are members of the Academy of Global Leadership. Those wearing gold and maroon are members of the Academy of Arts and Letters, while those wearing gold and royal blue are members of the STEM Academy. Excuse me. Would those students in the academies please stand? Thank you. This year, in conjunction with both the Girls and Boy Scouts of America, will be recognized students that have achieved the Silver, Gold, and Eagle Scout Awards. These are represented by silver and green, gold and green, and finally red, white, and blue. Would those students please stand? There you go. Thank you. And finally, I would recognize those students that have decided to enter the armed forces in order to defend our country. Please stand to be recognized. Jaiza M. At this time, I would like to call the Board of Education President, Ms. Andrews, and the Superintendent, Mr. Plitzy, to please come up. At this time, I would like to, it is with great pride as a principal that I now attest to the fact that the young men and women sitting on this field have met all the state and local academic and attendance requirements for graduation. I do, therefore, certify that each is eligible to receive a state-endorsed diploma from New Milford High School. President Andrews and Superintendent Polizzi It is my profound pleasure to present the graduating class of 2021. What's up? Yep. Zana Abbas. Foz Aliyah Abdallah. Mohammed Abdallah. Linda Akar. Melissa Jean Adelong. Ariana Isabel Alcivar. I think he loves you. Therese Angelitude Alfeche. Catherine Araceli Argudo. Haley Alex Arias. Fernando Armas. Victor M. Arroyo III. Hazel Maria Balseca. Nardi Elisa Barreau. Yeah. Ryan Bell. Alex Brian Bracey. Sharilyn Mako Brown. Matthew John Bussey. Brian Jin Christopher Caboting. Allison May Cabresa. Michael Caceres. Denise E. Calle Cabrera. Evelyn Alexandria Calle Urhilis. Francesca Capul. Joseph Seeby. Amanda Jewel Chaplin. Teresa Coleman. Iluminada Collado Dilon. Robert John Carujo. Marimel Jalacon Dabu. Valerie Del Greco. Paris de la Cruz. Roy Vincent Lumagbas Dalosa. Anthony Michael Del Vecchio. Victoria Azad Devian. Brian Diaz. Jiza M. Stanella Emil. Brian Martin Eric. Jeremy A. Espinal. Amanda Fatu. Jack Feeney. Xander Leonard Ferguson. Darius Ferreras. That's a nice cap. Yeah. Fakari Franco. Cynthia Maria Frank. Dabiel Garcia. Andrea Garcia. Joel George. Sarah Gregory. Alexander Halfin. Valerie Page Hartman. Tatiana Evangeline Hernandez. Jack Ryan Hewer. Cassandra Lynn Hornbostel. Jason P. Issa. Clarissa Jean Jimena. Alyssa Cotta Jones. She knows why she's laughing. That's Kara Nicole Keller. If you get a chance, you have to see the back of his cap. Actually, show him the back of your cap, Kayvon. That's Kayvon. Kayvon Kiani. It's a true king. Jonathan Elias King. He was actually homecoming prom king too, just to throw that out there. It's not just a name, not just a name. Timothy J. Kirsch. Anthony Jeffrey Krause. Charles James Lang. Ariana Cassidy Lignos. Michael Dominic James Ligori. Ethan Angel Lugones. Megan Grace Mackey. Robbie Earl Capuli Malari. Sarah Rachel Matthew. Caitlin Blair McDonough. Manuela Merchan. Janice Metner. And once again, our Canarum Award winner, Jamie Elizabeth Moat. Alexandra Scarlett Molina. Love you too, bro. Danielle Moquette. Daniel. Jillian Grace Murray. All right, I got to stop for a moment. We had a senior get-together for the senior luncheon, and there was a dunk tank, okay? So only a few brave individuals went in. Mr. Devereaux, where are you? Mr. Devereaux, Teacher of the Year, and also brave person. Myself, that was it, right? Oh, Mr. Jacob, too. All right, so Gavin decides that I can't throw the ball at the thing, so the PTO set him up, and he walked up and pushed it. So that got the thing rolling. So, all right, let me get to the point. Gavin Michael Neglia. Thank you, Gavin. It was a hot day. Lara Jacqueline Nicodeme. Adrian Harry Naranjan. Let's get it up again for Adrian. Adrian! Tia Nisimov. Nicholas Ocampo Correa. Rama Azman. Isabella Ortero. John David Pape. Rajvi Patel. Dennis Matthew Pa. Nicole Alexandra Peralta Luciano. I made her Italian, sorry. Luciano. Henley Perez. Aiden F. Polanco. Edisani Polanco. Albert Pony. Go Rutgers. Nicholas Alexander Rayner. Darlene Michelle Ramirez. Emmanuel A. Ramirez. Larry Ramos. Kurt Tristan C. Real. Anthony Reyes. Diane N. Rivera. Juan A. Rodas. Santiago Manuel Rujeles Rodriguez. Kevin A. Sanchez Espinal. Matai Savas. Jake Ryan Sidorsky. Robert Oscar Sophia. Caden Yuya Stevens. Peyton Stills. Dylan James Sapino. Ian Tapia. Zachary Scott Tetro. Danielle Marion Thorne. Matthew Donald Timmerman. Christopher Urhiles. Romel Neptali Vasquez Urhiles. Jennifer Marie Womack. Jonathan Warren. Lynn Way. Matthew Harrison Youngs. Devon Charles Yu. Ricky Zhang. Congratulations, Milford High School 60th graduating class of 2021.